Good morning, everyone. As you can see probably from my eyes, I'm like just waking up, or the lighting's bad, but I digress. So, we're finally meeting Ezra today, as we're reading the book of Ezra. We are in chapter 7 out of, I think, 10 chapters, and we're finally meeting him, so kind of a weirdly put together book. But, uh, I kind of skipped the first 5 verses because it's all just genealogy of Ezra, so I'll recap that quickly before reading it through 6 through 10. So we find out, one, that Ezra is still in Babylon. All the Jews have been kind of freed to go back to Jerusalem, but he has not, or at least his parents have not, because it's been a couple kings since they were released. But we find out that he's a direct descendant of Aaron. If you remember, that should be Moses' brother. So a chief priest, so he is therefore a chief priest. But he's a scribe, just a learned person in the Moses law. So let's actually do the reading part. This Ezra went up from Babylonia. He was a scribe skilled in the law of Moses that the Lord, the God of Israel, had given, and the king granted him all that he asked, for the hand of the Lord his God was on him. And there went up also to Jerusalem in the 7th year of Artaxerxes the king some of the people of Israel, and some of the priests and Levites, the singers, and gatekeepers, and the temple servants. And Ezra came to Jerusalem in the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. For on the 1st day of the 1st month he began to go from Babylonia, and on the 1st day of the 5th month he came to Jerusalem, for the good hand of his God was on him. For Ezra had set his heart to study the law of the Lord, and to do it, and to teach his statutes and rule in Israel. So, yeah, he's only now going to Jerusalem with some of the other Israelites. So, imagine a lot of work of the actual reestablishment of Jerusalem has happened now. So we'll find out pretty quickly where the progress on the temple is and all that stuff. But we see that, I guess we don't really see in this, but I was reading in some other parts that the king Artaxerxes wanted to send Ezra so that basically the laws of Moses and kind of the understanding of God could be taught. So it's interesting to see the kind of further shift of the kings of Babylonia / Persia at this point. Starting from Cyrus letting them go to the last king. I think it was the last king. I'm not sure if it's possibly the same. Okay, so it was Darius then, and now it's Artaxerxes. How they become kind of like more warm and welcoming to the Israelites who had also been captured before. But it's something that I've hit on that I think it may just be a overarching plot of Ezra of just trusting in God and God's timing. Some of these Israelites did not go back to Jerusalem when they first were offered the chance to, but in God's plan, Ezra then went with them. There's probably still some living in Babylon. They eventually still went, and it was all part of God's plan. So if you feel like you see other people moving maybe forward or in a direction that you want to go in life, but God's not calling you there yet, still just be patient. And yeah, you see just all these different things. The Israelites going, Ezra, and another thing that I had seen kind of tying in, maybe things that we'll see later in the chapter, but just not just trusting in God's timing, but giving thanks for where you're at right now. Ezra had favor with the king, as we see a lot of Israelite people normally get in favor with foreign kings. So it's a good God to follow if the enemies start liking you. But yeah, just give thankfulness. Be thankful where you're at. Give thanks, give glory to God, regardless of your circumstance, and He will be good and true to you. Yeah. Have a great week, guys.